Let's go on to, and I was really thrilled about this. One of you know him as well, Thomas Valenta.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Thomas Valenta over the last years has, and I've followed him on LinkedIn. I've known him for a long time. He's a big proponent and fan of the VUCA concept, and I see that you've also included VUCA and variations of it in your chapter 9. Anything you want to add to it? Because you added 2 Ds to the VUCA.
Yeah, absolutely. So absolutely. That's, and again, we don't need to necessarily dive so much into it, but the reality is we want to be, so one of the pet peeves that sometimes we deal with is that we have this, closed mindset or the rigid mindset, right? That does not remain in the future. When I say rigid mindset, it's also about the rigid ways by which we think we can deliver on these projects and programs. So this entire, and the variations of the book, and you can read more about it in the book and other sources online. This is the reality of it. We always knew that there's a level of uncertainty and complexity, right? But
that's an assumption on your part because you're so deep in the material. I think it's so obvious to us, but I think a lot of organizations don't understand that that's what we serve as. I always say that the simplest definition of a real project is a Greek word called chaos.
Yes, I love it.
The absence of order and the absolute abundance of possibility. And project management, program management, portfolio management is the attempt to bring order to chaos so that we can monopolize off it.
Yeah, and Mark, that's why I hope you connect the dots back to the point about thinking and what I talked about earlier. To me, 2 things are very important: is that your ability to apply all the combination of skills that are fitting back to the fit, right? To really get some sense out of the madness. But what I need in the future is I need better thinkers.
Yeah.
Not thinkers in the context of like these are gurus sitting somewhere on top of the mountains, but thinkers in terms of on their feet, adapting to the changing dynamics that will always increase in speed. There's a terminology we use sometimes nowadays in CMEs like what's called clock speed. That's the speed by which we need to operate at while we don't drop the ball on what's really fundamentally important. And
you're talking about such an important thing that I think also most people are so aware of subconsciously that they're not aware of it consciously.
Yeah.
If line organizations are the most effective and efficient way to do simple things, what a lot of people don't realize, it's like most pilots fly on autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
Line organizations fly on autopilot.
Yeah.
Project management is when you hit turbulences and your autopilot, you can use the PMBOK or whatever standard or book, whatever, but that's not gonna solve all your problems.
I love the analogy. Spot on.
You have to be able to really fly the plane. And I think a lot of people are shocked by how much implicit influence, power, or expectations are bestowed on them, that they're befuddled. Does the organization really want me to think for them? Yeah, that's your job.
Yeah. No, and that's why the changing job of the future of the PM, it's really be central. And if you're not equipped to do that, thank you very much. Please make other choices because that's what we need the most of, more than anything else. I need people who already operate at the level of being the executive. With those champions of change we talk about in the book and elsewhere in practice, we really need to make sure that you realize that's the role. You're not going to wait to have a title of an executive or anything else to be operating at such level, because my dream, just like maybe your dream, I want to see all C-suites in the future being filled by folks who really have the scars from the project and program trenches, because that's ultimately back to the holistic view, back to the end-to-end, etc. Who else is in a better position? And again, maybe still idealistic, but it's something that we have to nail. Now, and we are responsible for that.